that night changed everything.
Don't you think we're better together? Oh, I think we are.
Good morning, guys. Guess what we have for dinner tonight? Do you want to tell them, Mary?
Portillo's, which is just so perfect because Amanda and I met in Chicago, which is where Portillo's is from.
Yes.
And we both, all of us, equally love Portillo's.
Yes.
And so we had Portillo's in the freezer, and Peter took it out like the day before Amanda came because he knew she was coming.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't. It was perfect.
We had it for lunch. We're getting ready to have it for dinner.
Yeah.
These two have just been enjoying being together today. And we'll see you guys after dinner.
So Ollie, as you guys know, lived with Amanda for 8 months. And this is such a gift that she's giving me because I've been too exhausted to cut his hair. So she is cutting his hair for me. Thank you.
It's very therapeutic.
It is. It's like
If you have
an
time,
art project.
If you're not in a hurry, and if he's feeling sleepy, and you got a fun movie on.
Annie. It has been a day of rest and probably what you'd expect the day after stopping IVs. I didn't have to get up to go pee multiple times through the night because I wasn't being pumped with liquid. That was awesome. And then obviously the normal morning, normal vest, normal everything. Oh good, are you gonna come join us?
I am. Because
Yay!
every day that Mary was on IVs, I'd have to wake up early in the morning to hook up her first IV, and then I'd go back to sleep, and an hour later I'd change it, and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyways, every morning
For the last 5 weeks.
I just wanted to keep sleeping, but I would get up and do it. And then this morning my body says, you need to wake up. And
he's like, no, I need to sleep. And his body's like, no.
So for an hour I like laid there and fought it, and then finally I fell back asleep. Anyways, that's my story.
Yeah. And then basically, I mean, we sat on the couch, we hung around, we watched a 1999 Annie, and we've been singing the songs ever since. But we were just thinking about 11 years ago. Was it 11? Because we were trying to remember. Peter,
Yeah.
do you remember what year that was that I gave? Like,
I thought we figured out October 2008.
I think that's right. 2008.
so not quite 11 years ago. This coming October would
Yeah.
be. So,
So I had been married for 1 month.
that's when we met.
Yeah.
That's
When
awesome.
I became aware of you.
Okay, so here's what happened. We were going to a big church in downtown Chicago. You guys know the church because we just visited a few months ago and reenacted the proposal at that church. So we were going to that church, and it's like over 2,000 people on a Sunday morning. It's quite big. And so we were also part of a college group within that church. And one day, and now I'm trying to remember how this went down. I think it was on like a Wednesday night or a Sunday morning. I forget when it was. But one of the pastors came up to me and said, Mary, would you like to share your story on Sunday morning in a few weeks? And I had previously had kind of a conversation with God where I was like feeling this, like, I don't want to say burden, but this like feeling like if I ever have the opportunity to share my story, say yes. And so I was like, okay, sure, like whatever. This was kind of a conversation in my mind between me and God. And so a few weeks later, when this pastor asked me, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll share. And then after I agreed, I was like, I like realized that means talking in front of 2,000 people. Yeah. So of course, then I was super nervous. And we're talking, 10 and a half years ago, before I was on social media. Okay, social media existed, Facebook existed, but I was not on Facebook. So I'm in college, And I had started learning how to tell my story a little bit because I was moving dorm floors more frequent than you would imagine. Like my first semester, I was on a dorm floor. My second semester, I was on a different dorm floor, etc., etc. So the RAs, the whatever, they'd tell me, Mary, could you share your story with the girls on the floor? And so I'd started to learn how to share my story a little bit. And so this opportunity came to share my testimony. It was a 5-minute thing, and it had to be written out because with a big church, you need to like keep things on track and all of that. So I wrote it all out, and I am sure Peter helped me with that because he's like a public speaker, right? So I had it all ready, and there comes the day. My mom and my sister flew out for it, and I shared my story.
I am overjoyed to have the opportunity to introduce to you a student who has become really an integral part of our ministry. Mary is a sophomore at Moody Bible Institute. She's also a member of our Crossroads leadership team, and this morning we have the privilege of hearing her story.
I'm excited to have the opportunity to tell you the story of my life. Part of the maturing process was learning how to explain the joy that I have, even through my tough circumstances. I have cystic fibrosis, which is a life-threatening genetic disease. Although I may look like a young, healthy college kid on the outside, my body is fighting a war inside. People wonder how I can be so happy. I always love to explain it's the joy of the Lord and the hope I have in Him. I am so thankful that I am able to share with others the hope we can have through our difficult circumstances. My desire is that God will be glorified in my life and in my disease. I am thankful for all that He has taught me about having joy and hope in Him. Psalm 119, 73-74 says, "Your hands have made and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn your commandments. Those who fear you shall see me and rejoice, because I have hoped in your word."
And then you heard it that day?
I heard it that day, and I had had a friend who had CF, and then I had a few experiences with people in my childhood with it, and so I was like, oh hey, this is really interesting, because I had gotten to know Amber Metz, and she had written the book Breakthrough? Breathtaking. And she had sent me a copy of her book when it came out. So then I was like, oh hey, if you'd like it, I would give you this book. So then I carried around that book to church with me for multiple weeks until Mary and I's paths were gonna cross.
Huge church. Like, it's not a for sure that we'd see each other.
No.
So it took a few weeks, but eventually we met each other. And number one, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got to meet you. I've been carrying this book around to give to you. And I was like, that is so sweet. Like, you not only thought to give it to me, but you were willing to like bring it to church every single week until you met me. And so that was how we met. And that's crazy. Okay, I've been thinking about this kind of a lot lately, that night that I had that conversation with God, when I felt like He was saying, be willing to share your story. And I said, yeah. And then I was like scared because I was like, what did I just say yes to? But that night changed everything, because I said yes to that testimony, because I started learning how to share my story. Then when Peter and I were going to go to Scotland and started the vlog, I had already been learning for years how to share my story. And so in so many ways, I'm so grateful for that one night that changed a lot of things, including meeting you. I mean, who knows if our...
happened otherwise.
I know.
Oh.
And so... And also meeting people, so people who watched our vlogs, and it turns out we live in the same area. And then we go to the same church now or whatever. And I'm like, I literally only know you because you watched our vlog. And I only started vlogging because I said yes. Mm-hmm. And we, you know, like, it's all so mind-blowing. And, yeah, so be willing to share your story, however that looks in your life. Not everybody is meant to be a vlogger. Not everybody wants to be on social media. I resisted social media for a long time. It was the very end of college that I was like, okay, fine, I'll get a Facebook.
Interesting. I'll get a Facebook.
Or whatever it's called.
I'll get a Facebook.
But, what are other ways that you share your story? Like, even in, like, people in the grocery store, if somebody's like...
I think it takes courage to share one-on-one with people, and that still has value.
Very
it doesn't
much.
have to be a group. Like, there's something, and it's not something that you have to practice necessarily, like you
Right.
felt like you did, but in time it does get easier. But
Yeah.
like, people are so alone in our culture, and there's something to be said when you actually talk with people and you hear their story. I never regret hearing people's stories. But
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be like a huge shebang, like just shared experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Thoughts.
Good thing.
Thoughts on this. I don't even know what it is.
Sharing
Tuesday
and
night.
caring.
And you just might meet a lifelong friend.
There you go.
You just might.
Thanks for carrying that book around.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for not thinking I was weirdo.
Of course not. Never. So we've had an amazing visit, but Amanda is going home tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And so, as always,
As always.
we will see you.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Good night.
Don't you think